How's it going, everyone? My name is Anthony, aka ComicsRGreat, and welcome to the new Comic Book Day haul video for the books that I got back on Wednesday, November 17th. As you all know, there were a lot of great books that came out this week. Batman 117, which is the end of James Tynion's run and the end of Fear State. You also had Dark Ages number 3, which is Tom Taylor's miniseries on an Elseworlds tale, which has a lot of strange twists and turns on it. Then you had Eat the Rich number 4, Moon Knight number 5, just to name a few. So, take a look at what I had to say about these books, and if you like it, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. I really would appreciate it. Anyway, without further ado, here are the books that I bought that on Wednesday, November 17th, starting with from DC Comics, Batman number 117 by James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez. So this is the last issue of James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez's run on Batman, and it's also the last issue of Fear State and Batman. So all is right with the world, I guess, because to me this issue felt like the end of The Wizard of Oz, because there's no place like home. There's no place like home. And we kick our heels 3 times, and all is right with the world. Poison Ivy is back to normal. Peacekeeper 1 has been defeated. Peacekeeper X is gone. Mayor Nakano has been arrested. Scarecrow has been defeated. Miracle Molly did the right thing and didn't set the bomb off. And now when you see the bat signal flying over Gotham, people are filled with hope and love for one another. Okay, and supposedly it's the first time since the Joker War, which is when James Tynion took over. Okay, so hope has been restored for Batman and his team, and now we can continue on in the world. Now, did Fear State mean anything in the history books? Probably not. Where will it rank in the Batman stories? The top Batman storylines. Sorry, 3, 2, 1. Where will it rank in the top Batman story? 3, 2, 1. Will it rank up there amongst the top Batman storylines? Probably not, because it really didn't bring anything to the table. Jim Lee's Hush storyline, you had Hush and the possibility of Jason Todd coming back. In the Red Hood storyline, you got Jason Todd coming back. In Grant Morrison's run, you had Damian Wayne coming into the picture. Okay, you've always had in some of the more famous storylines an important person coming into the Bat family. In James Tynion's run, you do have Miracle Molly, you do have the Clown Hunter, okay? But in this storyline in Fear State, will it mean anything in the long run? No. And that's kind of what I was hoping for when it started. It started off great, but I don't think it lived up to the hype. So now James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez ride off into the sunset. And in issue 118, we have the new team of Joshua Williamson and Jorge Molina. And they're going to start off with a 4-issue storyline that introduces a brand new character by the name of Abyss. And he looks pretty evil. And we'll see what happens. So, in any case, as I typically say, Batman number 118 will be coming out on Wednesday, December 8th. From Marvel Comics, Dark Ages number 3 by Tom Taylor and Iban Coelho. So when I first read Dark Ages issue number 1, I had said wow, and I was shocked by the number of heroes that died, by the power of the Unmaker, and essentially how technologically the Earth was dialed back to the Stone Age. And I hadn't read issue 2, so I read issue 2 and 3 now, and I still have to say, wow. I mean, this is one of the best stories I've read in a while. Um, not since Deceased. Deceased and Dark Ages. Since Deceased is by DC Comics. This is almost along those lines, except for instead of a virus, you have power and electricity. I mean, and this is really unique here. I thought that Apocalypse would possibly become part of the solution, and he is in a sense because he's brought back electricity, but he's brought it back through in a horrible way. He is the mad despot that we all know and love. Okay, he doesn't have horsemen either. He's not just about mutants. Okay, he's about mutants and humans, and he sees that there are certain humans like Tony Stark whose minds are built for destruction and whose minds are beyond human. I mean, because Tony Stark is a pure genius in every sense of the word. Okay, I mean, he built the Iron Man suit, for crying out loud, and that's not including what other weapons he's built along the way. So you see everything that Apocalypse is doing. Okay, I mean, he took Quicksilver, who was there on a scouting mission, and he sent them against the heroes who sent them in the first place. And the Human Torch was killed. The Dora Milaje were killed. And Sue did everything in her power to try and rescue the current set of heroes. Spider-Man, his daughter, the Black Panther, to name a few. Alright, and right now in Apocalypse's possession, you got some of the greatest minds in the world. Reed Richards, Otto Octavius, Tony Stark, just to name a few. That's not including the heroes or villains that are in his possession. Okay, you got the Purple Man, who can control minds. You got Venom Carnage. It's like there's a Venom Carnage combined. I mean, Venom's bad enough. Carnage is even worse. But Venom and Carnage combined, that's a new one. I mean, that's really, really bad. This is an exciting story. And it's named Dark Ages for a very good reason. Because, man, it's really, really bad. And I'm glad it's an Elseworld story, because I can't imagine if this was unleashed into the Marvel 616 universe, because no one would come back unless they undid everything. I'm so looking forward to issue 4. I'm going to have to reread the first 3 issues just to get myself back into it when it comes out, because, man, this is a great story that Tom Taylor has done. In any case, Dark Ages number 4 will be coming out on Wednesday, January 12th. From Boom Studios, Eat the Rich number 4 by Sarah Gailey and Pius Bach. The cover was drawn by Becca Carey. So this has been quite the interesting story where Aster and Joey, they go back to his parents' house for the summer, and Joey is a normal kind of girl, so to speak. She finds out this weird tradition that Aster's family, they eat the rich. They eat the people who work for them or are part of them, as they each got to sign a contract. Part of it is that they get all these great benefits. Their families get taken care of. They get the best doctors in the world, all for the simple price of being eaten at the time that they die. And, they have to fulfill a contract, whether it's they got to be there for 10 years, 20 years, 15 years. And at the end of that time, when they retire, they die. And they become part of them. Throughout this story, Joey's been going along with it. She's really trying. She actually cannibalizes a person, and she feels different. And she starts feeling hungry all the time. Like, regular food doesn't sustain her. She has to eat people. All this was also explained to her by Aster's mom. She wants to get away. She's freaking out, okay? And one of the housekeepers makes a pass at her. The obligatory LGBTQ portion of the story now. There has to be one in every story, it seems like. So, in any case, Joey doesn't know what to do. You know, she wants to help Noreen. She loves Aster. So just when Aster's father is about to kill Noreen because she is breaking her contract, Joey attacks him. Okay, you know, she tries to tackle him and prevent him from killing Noreen, and he doesn't like it. So he starts chasing Joey all over the compound. All right, and this party's going on, and just when she crosses Aster's path, Aster pulls out a ring, goes to propose to her, just when his father wants to kill her. And that's the end of the 4th issue. That's quite the interesting ending. Okay? Is she gonna die? Or is she gonna become part of the family? So I'm definitely looking forward to the 5th and last issue just to see what the twist is on this and exactly what's gonna happen. So in any case, Eat the Rich number 5 will be coming out on Wednesday, December 22nd. From Titan Comics, Gun Honey number 3 by Charles R. Dye and Ang-Hor Kang. So this is issue 3 out of the 4-issue miniseries of Gun Honey, and there's been a couple of twists and turns, but essentially if this were a movie, this would be an action thriller. So Gun Honey is on the run, and she has her buddy Brooks with her. So she's working for a company that she really doesn't want to work for, but now has no choice because her life is on the line. And they go to this sauna. She goes in there asking questions. Next thing you know, a bunch of guys come running in. He takes on 1 or 2 of them while she gets away, you know, and eventually finds out that whoever she's looking for is in an abandoned, almost like an abandoned warehouse or an abandoned construction site. So as they go in, there are men that are still chasing her, and he tells her in a Malaysian dialect to jump to the ground, which she does, and she's wondering how this guy knows that she knows Malaysian. You come to find out that the person who she's going after is her father, who she originally thought was dead, but her father has 90% of his skin tissue burned off, so he looks completely different. And he's looking for the people who ultimately tried to kill him and killed all his sons. She was the only one to survive because, as you find out earlier in the series, he sent her away because he had some kind of premonition that a hit was going to be on his life. So it's not a bad miniseries so far. The artwork's pretty good. And I'm looking forward to issue number 4 to see how Mr. Ang-Hor Kang and Charles R. Dye wrap this up. So in any case, issue number 4 is coming out on Wednesday, December 15. From Marvel Comics, Kang the Conqueror number 4 by Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, and Carlos Magno. The cover was drawn by Mike Del Mundo. So this is issue 4 out of a 5-issue miniseries, where this is essentially a love story, okay, between Kang the Conqueror and Ravonna the Time Slayer. Okay, it starts off with Kang going into the past, finding his younger self named Nathaniel Richards, and giving him a piece of advice to never love in order for him to be the best and most driven Kang the Conqueror that will ever live throughout time. So Kang goes off on his way, makes some stops along the way. He sees himself as Ramatut. He sees himself as a Mortis. Okay, and all along the way, he keeps falling in love with Ravonna. He always runs into a version of Ravonna. That's the first face that he always sees when he lands at a different time. His mission is to be a better Kang, not exactly to be a stronger Kang. So he decides to change the mission and to do everything for Ravonna. He conquers everything except for the planet Earth in the end. And the one who's in charge of Earth is Ravonna. But what's funny is that Ravonna is the name of the woman that he eventually sees, but it's a different face. It's a different woman, but the eyes are the same, and the name is always the same. So he decides to become the hero Kang, the savior Kang, and he wins her heart, only to have one of his generals betray him and kill her. So now he starts back at the beginning, trying to save Ravonna and to become a better Kang. So this has been all one big circle for the first 4 issues. Great story, believe me, to see how one person could be so driven for the sake of love or conquest, and that they both burn the same way. But you can only do one, you can't do both. So, in any case, Kang the Conqueror number 5 will be coming out on Wednesday, December 15th. From Image Comics, King Spawn number 4 by Sean Lewis and Javier Fernandez. So in this issue, we see the continuation of last issue's battle of Kincaid versus Spawn. Not medieval Spawn, not She Spawn, but Al Simmons Spawn. The one and the original Spawn. Last issue, we saw Al Simmons burst out from within Kincaid, and that didn't work. But Kincaid shows Spawn the future. And you see a beautiful 2-page spread of some stuff that's going to happen. And at the bottom, we have Spawn sitting on a throne of bones with a crown on his head. Actually a crown protruding from his head. And Kincaid all smile with half his brain sticking out. And Spawn just goes on a tirade and beats the living crap out of him until there's nothing but dust. Alright, and Spawn then goes on talking to an oracle and hands over a child to her, puts a child in her possession named Simon. Now, what this child exactly is, I guess we'll know in the future. He gets medieval Spawn and She Spawn together to save the day, because there's a bunch of children who are being threatened, and they take care of them. So you see the 3 Spawns together. Okay, this is obviously before Scorched comes out. So, but it's going to be pretty interesting. But at the end of the issue, Spawn goes and grabs the last human person that's there. His name is Terry. And he tells them that they're going to head over to Botswana, which is in Africa. So in King Spawn number 5, I'm looking forward to, seeing who the 4th member of this new Scorch team is going to be. In any case, Spawn number 5 is going to be coming out on Wednesday, December 15th. From Marvel Comics, Moon Knight number 5 by Jed MacKay and Alessandro Cappuccio. The cover was drawn by Steve McNiven. A good part of the issue is of Moon Knight sitting in a therapy session. And on the other side, you have Moon Knight with Terry. Okay, and Moon Knight's trying to find Hunter's Moon. Okay, the other fist of Khonshu. So he gets led to this one guy called the Soldier. He actually finds him tied up to a radiator, and he's all beaten up. And Soldier tells him that it's a trap. Okay, and Moon Knight figures it out himself that it's a trap. So he is trying to free Soldier because he's a hero, while Soldier's telling him that he needs to get out of the building. And even Hunter's Moon comes out. There's a walkie-talkie there telling him, tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. That you gotta hurry up, otherwise the building's gonna go boom. And just in time, just when, as Moon Knight pulls Soldier out, the whole building explodes. Whole building goes up in smoke. Moon Knight is all busted up. And who's standing in front of him? Terry. Okay, the guy who he was running around with, and Terry tells him that Terry doesn't exist, that his name is Zodiac, and he pulls a black Moon Knight mask over his face. So my question is this: is this guy Hunter's Moon or is he Zodiac? So I'm still a little confused on that point. Trying to figure out exactly who the new character is going to be. So I'm looking forward to issue number 6. Hopefully we'll get the answer to that question. And also if there's two separate characters, just exactly who is Hunter's Moon and who is Zodiac, and what the deal is with the both of them. And why do they have such a mat on for Moon Knight? Alright, so in any case, Moon Knight number 6 is going to be coming out on Wednesday, December 22nd. From DC Comics, Nice House on the Lake number 6 by James Tynion and Alvaro Martinez Bueno. So we're at the halfway point of the 12-issue maxi series Nice House on the Lake. And from here, unfortunately, there's a 5-month hiatus. So this run has been pretty good, a little on the weird side, but good nonetheless. Alright, so Walter, who's this alien type being, who grabbed about a dozen people and moved them to a house to keep them alive while the world came to an end. Okay, and there's a new guy that they found from last issue named Reg, and Reg is a painter. So he shows up and he tells them that there is a way to save the world, that they can actually still have time to save it. He pulls them into where he's been staying at, which is a different house. Okay, they find that they each have there's statues outside his house, and each person there has a symbol. Okay, and they touch the symbol, they're able to open and close the houses. They've learned a lot of things. They've learned that there's a force field, they're immortal, that they can access certain things. They found a weapons cache. Okay, there's a lot of stuff there. But there's one interesting thing. Whenever they learn too much or freak out, Walter makes them forget. Okay, and my whole thing is, why does he do that? Why does Walter make them forget? What is Walter's big bad secret? What is Walter hiding from them? Is it his alien friends? Is it his family? Is it a possibility that they're coming to destroy everything and Walter in his own way is trying to save humanity? Because Walter's been around these people for almost 2 decades. Okay, so they've obviously had to have had some kind of influence on him. So I'm not exactly looking forward to this 5-month hiatus. I want to get this series over and done with. It's the one thing that James Tynion is being tied to by DC Comics. Since he's officially leaving DC, he's done with Batman. But we'll find out in April and May, because that's when the 5 months are up, whether or not he's going to continue writing for DC, which I hope he does. I mean, because this is quite the story. Okay, we got 6 issues, enough for volume 1. I'm going to sit down and reread all 6 issues one day, hopefully next week or the week after. Try to wrap my head around what James Tynion is trying to weave here. It's a great story, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm not one for horror or deep mystery, but this one's got me. This one has me good. It really does. So, in any case, issue number 7 won't be coming out until April or May of 2022. From DC Comics, Nightwing number 86 by Tom Taylor and Robbie Rodriguez. The cover was drawn by Bruno Redondo. So in this issue of Nightwing, we have the 3rd and final issue that's connected to the Fear State storyline. And this takes place before Batman number 117. So this actually explains where they get the PK uniforms from. But it's weird because in this issue, not only do they get the PK uniforms, but they get rid of them. And yet, Batman finds them with them on in Batman 117. So I find it kind of strange. So they go after Seer, and you actually meet Seer for the first time in this book. Even though I'm probably going to have to go back and check to see if you see her in the first two issues. You do find her as one of the rich kids that's being held on Mayor Nakano's skybase. Alright, has brown hair, she has green glasses, okay? She actually asks Nightwing if he knows Superman. Okay, so this is a full appearance. This is not a cameo. Mayor Nakano has the audacity to try and pull a weapon on Batgirl. Okay, so let's see. Mayor of Gotham with no training experience versus Batgirl with decades of experience. Who's gonna react better? So, of course, he gets knocked out. He eventually gets arrested. The sky base gets brought down. And all's well that ends well. Except Barbara Gordon is no longer Oracle, for the most part. Because her entire system was taken down. Seer, who is a lot younger than her, you find out that she got away. And she has this big eye as her logo. It was on the flash drive that Batgirl found, and it was also on the back of Seer's jacket. So now we know what logo to look for. I thought it was a good issue, fun and action-packed. Robbie Rodriguez, I think, did a fantastic job these 3 issues. He's known for doing Spider-Gwen, which I thought his action sequences were great there too. And I think that his artwork is great for a lighter, younger audience. I did miss Bruno Redondo's artwork, though, from within the issues. But Robbie Rodriguez was a nice change of pace. Looking forward to getting Redondo back, though, starting in issue number 87. And won't have to wait too long. At least, just a few weeks. And it'll be here before you know it. So, in that case, Nightwing number 87 will be coming out on Wednesday, December 22nd. From AWA Upshot, Not All Robots number 4, by Mark Russell and Mike Deodato Jr. The cover was drawn by Raza Murdoch. So this is issue 4 of 5 of the miniseries, Not All Robots, and this storyline has been pretty interesting. Okay, so brief back summary: it's a world of people living with robots doing everything. People are like on a permanent vacation. They literally do nothing. All they do is they stay home, watch TV, and watch the grass grow. That is it. Robots do everything. They cook, they clean, they do the jobs of society. They even have police robots in the military. But all the robots have human-like personalities. So robots have actually killed people. There was an incident where they killed 200,000 people, and the robot was found innocent. And there was an outrage, and people were questioning whether or not robots are safe, if they're glitchy. Okay, so in this issue you have the brand new idea of mandroids. Alright, but it's essentially a robot that looks like a person, and you could customize this mandroid to look like anybody. Your next door neighbor, your teacher, your grandmother, your grandfather, your uncle, whoever your heart's desire. Okay, the family that the story's been centered around. Okay, the husband buys a mandroid, and gets the mandroid, 1, for cheap, 2, it's a mandroid of his mother-in-law, his dead mother-in-law, as a matter of fact. Okay, and at first the wife is thrilled with it until they see that a cheap Mandroid means audio ads coming through the Mandroid. All right, so imagine you're talking to someone like, oh, how is it outside? Oh, the sky is great. 5 seconds for the next ad. 3, 2, 1. Oh, here we go from Coca-Cola. And who wants that? Okay, to have a person talking to you like if they're an advertisement. It's ridiculous. But that's essentially what the Mandroid is. So his wife and his 2 kids are kind of part of this revolution, and they're trying to fight back. Okay, so that the housebot that they have with them, which is named Snowball, by the way, has been making weapons. He's made all these weapons, and he drops it off for these other robots who are now obsolete. So that's the thing. These Mandroids that people had to buy have made all these other robots obsolete. So these robots are no good. And one day they have essentially been rendered useless. So now you got useless people, useless robots. So, and there's a war. A war is starting. All the useless robots get together and they start killing the Mandroids. But of course, they start killing people too because they don't know which is a Mandroid and which is a person because they look exactly like people. The only way you can distinguish them is the way they talk. So we're going to see what transpires in issue 5. Mike Deodato's artwork is great, of course. All right. Raza Murdoch, his covers have been absolutely fantastic as usual. In any case, Not All Robots number 5, the 5th and final issue, will be coming out on Wednesday, December 29. From Image Comics, Primordial number 3, by Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino. I've read all 3 issues just now, and so far I like what I'm reading. It takes place in the early 60s, where the space race is null and void. Russia sent up Sputnik 2 and 3. The United States sent up the Jupiter missions with animals, and they disappeared. Laika, which is a dog from Russia, and Abel and Mrs. Baker is from the United States. Somehow or other, they're in a far region, where there's some kind of space distortion, and their minds and their bodies were remade. So Laika can telepathically speak to Abel. Mrs. Baker, who's the smaller monkey, just keeps on going. So they know they're from the United States, they know they're from Earth, they know they're from Russia, so they just don't know how to get back home. So, and planet side, we have Dr. Pembroke and Dr. Nostrovich. They're trying to get a message to Laika. Okay, so Dr. Nostrovich was Laika's caretaker, and Dr. Pembroke is from the United States. He stumbled onto some information, and he knows that the animals are alive. So, but there are some parties who want the space race to remain dead, and they don't know what's going on, but they're trying to stop them. So, there's about 2 to 3 more issues left. I'm definitely interested to see what happens, and what all this is supposed to entail. Okay, so in any case, Primordial number 4 will be coming out on Wednesday, December 29. From Marvel Comics, Shang-Chi number 6, by Jean Nguyen Yang and D.K. Ruan. The cover was drawn by Laniel Francis Yu. So this is the end of the storyline of Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe. So we've had Shang-Chi versus Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, Wolverine, the Fantastic Four. So in this issue, it's Shang-Chi versus Thor, the God of Thunder. And one may think, how the heck is that going to play out? Yeah, Shang-Chi is a great martial artist. He's the leader of the Five Weapon Society. That's no joke. But against the God of Thunder, no way would he last. But he gets his hands on a special sword that can channel thunder and makes him equal to Thor. And DK Juan, his artwork on here has been absolutely fantastic. I love the action sequences. It would be great if something like this was in the MCU. Oh my goodness, it would be absolutely fantastic since most of the players are there. They fight to a standstill when Shang-Chi realizes that what he has in his hand is not a sword. It's the Cosmic Cube. And unfortunately, it's because one of the members of his family stole the Cosmic Cube from Captain America a few issues ago. And because of that, Shang-Chi honorably gives the Cosmic Cube up to Captain America. He has his family member arrested, and he loses supposedly the honor and the trust of the rest of his family members. Even though what he did was truthful and honorable, but in their eyes, they feel that he sold them out. So Shang-Chi's in a weird spot, and his father's about to strike. And he's been gathering some of Shang-Chi's enemies to try and retake the Five Weapon Society. So, even though I was going to just end it at issue number 6, I may have to read issue 7 and continue on just to see what happens, because this has been a pretty good storyline so far. In any case, Shang-Chi number 7 will be coming out on Wednesday, January 5th. Did you pick up some of the books that I showed you today? If so, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you like the content of this video, if you could please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, I really would appreciate it. I know this is a little late, but I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and enjoyed your time with your family. And I hope you didn't get too stuffed like I did with eating all that ham and turkey. Believe me, it was really good. And I'm sure that you guys ate a lot as well. So on a side note, during this Christmas season, remember to be wise, be vigilant, protect yourself, protect your family, protect those around you while you collect comics. Alright? So, from my family to yours, have a great week, and remember, comics are great, and so are you. Later.